Hello, everyone. We're getting hooked up. There it is. We're getting hooked up with Instagram. So we'll get started in just a second.
Yes, and I am okay. All right.
All right. Let's.
Go with okay. All right.
Ah, she's in.
Yeah.
Yay! See, she's a tech person, so this was easier than usual.
Okay, let me fix my light. In that case, let me fix my light.
So we all know that I am not the tech person. So when it goes well, it is not because of me. I had nothing to do with things going well. Anyway, everyone, welcome. Today, I am really excited. I've got the other founder of the DogHood app, Purvi Janardhan. And can you make sure my volume is off on there? And make sure your phone volume is off. We've got an echo. I don't know if it's mine.
Yeah, mine is off, I think. Yeah.
Okay, let's see if that helps. I've still got a little bit. For some reason, it turns itself back on all the time.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I don't understand it, but it does. Okay, so we're better. All right, so some of you may have remembered I had a conversation last week or the week before with the other half of the founders of DogHood app, which is a free community app devoted to fostering connections and meaningful relationships. And so DogHood has given Purvi the opportunity to combine her two big passions, dogs and community, to create a platform for friendship and resource sharing, building connections within a community over shared love of dogs. And it is pretty cool. I joined the DogHood app after the last conversation, and I guess it works by your zip code. So you can see if there's other people in your area that are on the app or walking their dogs or, looking for help with their dogs, dog sitters, where do you go to get groomed, whatever. So it's sort of a information sharing, which is pretty cool. And then everybody just posts cute pictures of their dogs too. So
Which is always a bonus.
yes, exactly. So Purvi's an entrepreneur and is experienced in building impact-driven solutions, and she's into technology. So this is kind of cool. She's been in the technology space over the last 15 years and has worked at companies like PayPal and eBay in the past. I'm sorry. She loves her dog Oreo like a baby, and he's a reason behind DogHood. What is Oreo?
Oreo is a sheepadoodle, 85 pounds fluffy monster. He usually sits by me, making sure I'm working on the doghood. But today I think he's busy chasing squirrels. So he has his priorities.
I think I saw a picture of you with him, and he's like this giant, big, gray and white fluffy thing.
Yep, he is.
All right. So the reason we are having a conversation with Purvi today is, one, the DogHood app is kind of cool, so we want people to be aware of it. But also, they are sponsoring having me. And my husband Hugh is going, and also Dennis and Les from All Provide will be in San Jose at Bark in the Park on September 16th. So anybody anywhere in that neck of the woods, it's a free event. I think you can make a donation to get them, but it is a free event. I looked at the schedule. There is all kinds of stuff going on, like fun contests. They have me speaking twice. There's vendors and booths and just all kinds of fun. And it looks like a beautiful venue in this just gorgeous park.
It is. It is a beautiful park. We have been going there for last few years. It is like a dog festival, which you don't want to miss. You will see all sorts of dogs. They bark, they play together, but it's just the atmosphere there is phenomenal, and we are so excited to host you this time. And I hope everybody here in the area can come join and especially attend your talk, because I think that's very important for us to bring the good, right information to the people. And I think you will do that for sure. So, and that's why we are so excited to have you.
And, it might be interesting because, and I have to be a little careful when I'm speaking, but I'm pretty sure that there's a local, I saw it on the page about the Bark in the Park. There's a local SPCA or somebody that's there giving vaccinations. And like, if I could think of a worse place and time to give vaccines, there aren't too many worse places and times to be giving vaccines. And so, it might be really interesting. I'll be on stage going, "So"
Yeah, and that's exactly what we want to let all our, people know. There are two sides of it. Yes, people believe in it or not, but I think they should be getting the right information. They should be aware of what is happening, right? So I think, in my opinion, it is a great balance that both of you are going to be on the same stage, and we will be the connector. No worries.
Okay. Yeah, so, like, so you have bodyguards for me? And I don't know if these are free vaccines or they're charging for the vaccines, and it really doesn't matter. Like, I don't wanna take money out of their pocket, but if they're free vaccines, I don't want people going and getting something that they don't
Right,
need just because it's free.
right.
So I think it's an important part of the talk, and we'll if there's anybody in the audience who goes in the morning to get vaccines before I talk, and then they go, "Oh, crap, what did I just do?" So, it was
So
just
let's just,
interesting.
yeah, let's ask everyone to wait till 11 and then make a call. See
Yeah,
both
really, don't
sides
go
of
get
the
anything until I
coin.
talk.
Yeah.
So it will be quite interesting. But so my question for you, Purvi, is so clearly you're into technology and you're into dogs. So the DogHood app was a great way to bring those together. But why are you bringing a holistic veterinarian? You could have gotten any veterinarian to speak about anything, and certainly a traditional veterinarian would have a much different approach to these
Hmm.
conversations that I'm going to have next Saturday. Why did the two of you decide that you wanted a holistic approach, and why is that important to you? Like nutrition standpoint, health standpoint for dogs, and how did you get sort of going on this more non-traditional path?
Sure, and I'll tell you a story that yes, I am always been in technology, and suddenly what happened to me? Why am I into dogs, right? So here is a bit of my story. I was always afraid of dogs. I would not even touch a chihuahua. I was that afraid of dog.
And
Okay.
now you have like an 80 pounder.
Yes, and 4 years back, I got the dog because the boys in my house, I thought that I'm depriving them from this experience. So I ended up getting one, and he happened to be 85 pounds monster. Now, as a first time dog owner, definitely I was so overwhelmed, don't know what to do, right? And this is where I think, the whole realization of there is so many scattered information out there, on Google, you search on social media, everything that's scattered. But for me as a dog owner, I am a mom of Oreo, I want to know a, a good, which is, information right in front of me. How do you do that, right? And I think that's where, and we have a small community here in our city, Saratoga, California, and with the help of them, I could actually survive a little bit more. And I'm like, okay, now I am a puppy owner, I can manage things. But I think the biggest issue I saw is there is nothing which is dog focused in this industry, which is like dog centric community, right? End of the day, when you go on a walk, you will see, okay, that is Riley's mom, oh, that is Cosmo's mom, but you are never connected. You know them by the dog's name. So what do you do, right? That's where the whole idea of, the Ruchi and I started talking about having a framework which brings the community together. And when you have a community together, you do exchange, share, and trade information, and you get something which is really uh, I would say valuable to the dog owners. Nothing that, yeah, you can find a vet who can tell you what to do, give a vaccination or not. But I think end of the day, as a dog owner, I wanted to know all my options. And I think, and the more we see, the more we are getting education around, the cancer prevention and all that. I think that is what geared towards, how the holistic vet could come into your life and can change your dog's life, because end of the day, dogs are our babies, right? You want to do the same, how you go to your doctor and say, okay, do this follow, and exactly what we want to do for our dogs. So, and I think this framework, the doghood framework, is a connector to the community. And that's where I think the awareness, more than anything, I feel the being aware of things, what's going on in the industry, holistic vet or not, whatever it is, I think it is every single dog owner's right to know what is out there for me.
So, do you have a holistic veterinarian for your dog?
It's where I'm going to talk to you next week. Because it is, you have been so busy, hard to get your
Yes.
time on the schedule. What do you do, right? That's where I'm going to catch you next week.
Is your dog going to be there?
Yes, this guy is going to be there. He's going to be there for at least, I guess, 3 to 4 hours, and I'll make sure you can see him.
He is very cute. We don't have. I mean, I know he's a doodle, but we don't see very many sheepdogs. And in my practice, I think I had 2 owners who were really into sheepdogs, and so, over the years, I saw multiple generations of their sheepdogs, but they're not that common. So
They are not common. We have about, I think, 4 sheepadoodles in our community here in Saratoga. And I think after your last live, I really appreciate all your viewers. Actually, a lot of them actually went and downloaded the app. And I do see some of them, they are saying, okay, well, I don't have anybody in my city. What do I do? And I promise you will get the same experience as Californians are getting it. You will go to the walks together, you will go to the events together, you will find services near you, you will find play dates. Hang in there. We are working on the community, but in the meantime, the framework is designed in such a beautiful way that dog is a dog is a dog, no matter if the sheepadoodle from California versus sheepadoodle from North Carolina, right? So the global framework is there for you to use. You can talk about anything on this global platform where we have thousands and thousands of users. So again, thanks to all your viewers who actually downloaded the app last time, and we really appreciate
Well,
it.
and it's really interesting because when you sign up on the app, you don't sign up. Like, I didn't sign up as Judy Morgan. I signed up as Forrest because that's my dog. So you
Yep.
sign up as your dog.
Yes, and this is dog's profile. That's why it is so interesting. In the morning, you see that, okay, the new dog has come onto the platform. What is his personality? Okay, he's a space dog. Somebody say he's shy. Somebody says he's just very pretty, right? So it's the whole dog's profile on the
It
platform.
is. And so when I did it, we have 5 dogs. So it's like, oh my gosh, do I have to make a profile for every dog? So I just picked one, my crazy one. So, but I was like, well, if I had time that I really wanted to do this, I would put all 5 dogs in there, and then,
Yeah,
they could all have conversations with all of their friends, but I don't have time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If my dogs could do it themselves, like if I can get them some opposable thumbs or, teach them how to do it, they might actually have a lot of fun.
Yeah, might be eventually. Yes, with AI and all that coming in, we
With
might be able to
AI,
do
maybe our
that.
dogs will be able to bark at each other and they'll understand each other at some point.
Yeah, yeah. And now, in fact, I want to ask you, Dr. Judy, you have been doing this for years. Why, what keeps you going? What is that health and nutrition piece which keeps you going, for all these years? Um,
Well, first of all, it's an evolving process because I started out as a traditional veterinarian. I went to a Midwest United States veterinary school in the early 1980s. So there was nothing holistic to talk about there. And we're in the corn belt. So what do you feed dogs? You feed them corn. And prescription diets in our medicine classes in school, we never learned how to formulate diets. It was, if they have kidney disease, there was only one prescription diet company at that time. So if they have kidney disease, you just feed them KD. And if they have heart disease, you feed them HD. And, if they're old, they get GD for geriatric diet. And that company has used up most of the letters now. And that's all we learned about nutrition. So for 10 years, I practiced very, very traditional medicine. Um, and somebody's volume just popped up. Uh, so, Katie, can you check my volume and make sure it's not echoing? It's not. All right. Anyway, it started echoing. Okay. So I practiced very traditional medicine for 10 years and I wasn't having any fun. I didn't like my job. And then I accidentally took a chiropractic course and it totally changed my trajectory. And I said, wow, there are other things out here that I don't know anything about. And I started seeing miracles in patients that had chronic diseases that I had never been able to do anything for them other than hand out more drugs. So it totally changed how I look at things. And now, when like I have a dog with cancer right now who was in bad shape before I started my holistic cancer protocol. And I keep trying to get a video of him because after dinner, when they go outside, when he comes in the back door and races across the room, like
Wow.
racing across the room. And I'm like, this is my 15-and-a-half-year-old dog that has at least 5 tumors in his bladder. And, before I started this protocol, he looked horrible.
Wow.
And that's what keeps me going. My daughter's horse just had a near-death experience from traditional medications. And the veterinarian came out, the horse vet came out last week and looked at the horse and he said, I don't think he's going to make it. Now, this is a 2,000-pound horse. He said, I don't think he's going to make it. And his lab work looked terrible. And he said, I don't think he's going to make it. And he came back and took blood again Tuesday. And he said, wow, I think he wants to live. And the horse looks great. And he's back out in the field with his friends. And we had to do all that with holistic therapies because he couldn't take any traditional therapies. His body said no. So when you see things like that, and you realize that a lot of times with medications and bad diet, we are inflicting harm on our animals. And so once I started seeing those kinds of things, there's no way I could not pass the information along. So that was one of the problems with being in practice is I could see a set number of patients per day, whether that was 10 or 20 or 30, depending on the day. But that's reaching a very small number.
Yep.
And so with the work that I do now, my 7th book will be out in a couple of weeks. So my 6th book came out 2 weeks ago. When I do a social media post or I write a book, I can reach thousands to millions. And it keeps me going because there are so many animals out there who are in desperate straits and need help. And is it frustrating some days? You betcha.
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm sure.
So, and not everyone, a lot of people would like to have private consultations with me. And I don't have enough hours in a day. I don't have a clinic. I don't practice and for a lot of reasons. And one, I got really, really burned out. I did it for 36 years and I got really burned out and I just couldn't do it anymore because I was not giving the attention and service that I felt that I needed to really make an impact on an individual pet. So, and we see this a lot. I mean, the veterinary community is so full of burnout. Traditional vets, holistic vets, everybody's burned out. It's a hard field. So, I get it. But it's great that we have social media, things like the DogHood app, where people can ask questions and can get good information from what's working for other people. And every dog is different. Just because it worked for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for your dog. But at least it gives you questions that you could ask. Even if you're a traditional veterinarian, you could go to them and say, hey, somebody said that, their dog that had very similar thing to what I think is going on with my dog, that XYZ worked for them. Have you ever heard of that? Can we talk about that? It at least gives you a door to go through.
Yep. It preps you for your visit to the vet, right? That's exactly, what we think as a community. When you come together, you have so many things to share. What you had gone through in the past, not necessarily exactly is going to be the remedy for my dog, but at least I will be prepared when I'm going to the vet.
Right. Yeah, I know it gets frustrating for people because a lot of times people will go in and they say, hey, I want to do this raw diet thing. And their veterinarian says, So, or going in and saying, hey, I want a titer instead of a vaccine. And the veterinarian goes, no, we're not doing that. Or I don't know anything about that. Or that doesn't really work. I know it can be frustrating for pet parents. And I don't have a license in North Carolina, so when my pets need to go to the vet, I have a veterinarian. I now am on the other side of the table, which makes life really interesting.
Yep, yep.
Luckily, I have a very nice young veterinarian who is very understanding and is very cool with anything that I ask.
That's awesome.
It definitely helps. All right. So for people on the DogHood app, I just want to let you know that Naturally Healthy Pets is offering 10% off of first time purchases in the online store now through the end of September for DogHood app members. So you can go through the DogHood app to find out what that code is and to get your percentage off. So let's see. Do we have, Joey, the link for Bark in the Park?
Yes.
There we go. barksanjose.org. www.barksanjose.org. It's Saturday the 16th from 10 to 5.
5. Yep.
10 to 5. Looks like it's a fun day with all kinds of stuff going on. We will be there. Dennis and Les from All Provide will be there. So if you are not familiar with All Provide Food, you want to see what it's all about, those guys will be there to tell you. And I'll be there answering questions all day with my husband, Hugh. We'll be signing books. We have sent some books out to Rushi's house.
Mhm,
I'm not
mhm.
put them in my suitcase. They're heavy. And I will be speaking on 6 ways to keep your dog naturally healthy. And then also, which is where we're going to talk about vaccines. And then also species appropriate diets for dogs, which see how much trouble I can get in with that one too, because there's probably going to be some dog food vendors besides All Provide there.
Oh, yeah, there will be. We'll be ready.
Need bodyguards, protective armor. Hopefully everyone will play nice.
Yep.
And I try to be not too awful.
Yeah, you'll be fine, and we'll at the end of the day, it is for our dogs, right?
At the end of the day, it's
So
for dogs and it's education, and people can take it and do with it what they will.
yeah, yeah,
And
and in fact, I was continuing to your your speaking engagement, what you are going to talk about. We are also gonna, we have some exciting things coming for Doghood as well. We are actually launching a new feature, which is chat, and especially, the other day I was reading there are 28% Americans don't get the dogs because they can't travel they it will affect your traveling. And you know what, I am one of them. I do sometimes feel that I can't go on the weekend if I have an impromptu weekend, or even if I need to go like for 8 hours, step out and leave my dog at home, it is hard. So, keeping that in mind, we are actually launching something very cool where every dog owner can be a dog sitter, right? And you can actually exchange the favor whenever you can, based on your breed or personality. You can find somebody in your neighborhood or even a 30, 40, 50 miles radius. If you're ready to, you can actually match the dog and see if they get along, and you can exchange the dog sitting. And I feel like there is a huge demand in the market right now, because every time, even for me being 4 years with Oreo, every time I have to plan a vacation, I'll check with my dog sitter, and she would say, "Oh, I'm busy," or "I don't, I'm vacationing that time," or some or the other thing. And then you suddenly feel like, okay, there is no point going on vacation if I have to leave Oreo, right? So I think this is something which we are bringing pretty cool on our app, where you will be able to safely leave the dog in a environment which he or she likes, right?
yeah.
And again, this is the advantage of community. This is why having the framework, the Dogwood framework, ready for you to enable all the different things you could do with it. And I think the dog sitting and dog boarding is something which is a very, very common issue every
Oh,
single dog parent
huge,
face.
huge.
So
Yeah, we're doing an event in New Jersey, which is my old stomping grounds. But it's like an 8-hour drive. And normally, if my husband and I are traveling and my mom's staying home, she takes care of the 5 dogs and all the 11 cats and the 30 chickens and whatever. Um, But my mother is going to the New Jersey event with us because we are visiting family while we're up
Mhm.
there. And so the 5 dogs, 2 of them, I don't feel comfortable leaving with the farm pet sitter coming in twice
Yeah.
a day. 2 of them just are not gonna survive on a twice a day visit. The other 3 will be okay. So we actually have good friends who live in Virginia, about 3 hours away. So we are detouring through Virginia to drop the 2 dogs off at their house
Yeah.
before we go to New Jersey, and then we'll make that detour on the way back down as well.
Yeah.
So, but that's somebody that knows my dogs. My dogs are comfortable with their dogs. They understand, my dog with cancer, I can't he there's a lot that goes into caring for
Yeah.
that little guy and my
Yeah.
puppy. So, um, knowing someone locally that you could do trades with and the dogs get along could be incredibly valuable because there's no way. First of all, my dogs would never get into a boarding environment because I don't vaccinate like boarding environments are going to
Right.
want.
Right.
So that's the
Right.
first problem.
Yep. 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 Exactly. This opens up a door for so many people
Yeah.
who believe in holistic vet, and they can find somebody close enough to. And this is like a repetitive process. Once your dog is used to that environment, that's it. You are done. Ooh la la,
Right.
right? You can take your bag, go whenever you want to, right? So
Yep.
it shouldn't be it shouldn't stop you from having fun as a
Exactly.
human. So we are thinking about humans as well here. DogHood app is also about humans. We are thinking about them and giving them the services too.
Yep. No, it's awesome. So I think it's great. All right. Well, we will see you in, oh my gosh, just a little over a week. I can't
Yep.
believe my travel schedule is about to get crazy. But thanks for all you're doing. Thanks for bringing us to San Jose. We're excited. Dennis and Les, I saw Dennis was on. Dennis, we'll see you in a little over a week. We're going to be seeing the All Provide guys a lot in the next couple of months. So everyone have a wonderful afternoon. And anybody who is anywhere near San Jose, even if it's a couple hour drive, come see us. We'll be there all day at the event, and I'm looking forward to it.
Same here. It was great talking to you, Dr. Judy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.